If you're planning to wait for Apple's next budget iPhone, the iPhone 17e, you need to hear this before you spend a single rupee or dollar. There's a trap here, and most people are going to fall straight into it. Because if you can stretch your budget just a little bit, the regular iPhone 17 is easily the smarter, long-term purchase. In this video, I'll break down the real-world differences between iPhone 17e versus iPhone 17 and explain why waiting for the cheaper model in 2026 might actually cost you more. Let's start with what we know. Apple is expected to launch the iPhone 17e very soon, possibly as early as next month, with a rumored starting price of around $599. On paper, that sounds amazing. New chip dynamic island MagSafe supported sounds like the perfect budget iPhone. It sounds like a bargain, but here's the catch. The standard iPhone 17 is expected to sit just $200 higher. And once you see what you get for that extra $200, the iPhone 17 suddenly becomes the obvious choice. And the iPhone 17e starts to look like a bad investment. Let's break it down, one by one. Display, the biggest deal-breaker fees alone might be the reason you should skip the iPhone 17e. The iPhone 17e is rumored to reuse the same 6.1-inch 60Hz OLED panel from the older iPhone 16e. Yes, the bezels might be a bit thinner. Yes, the notch might finally be replaced with the dynamic island, but those are cosmetic changes. They don't change the actual feel of using the phone. At its core, it's still a 60Hz display, likely with lower brightness and no major leaks suggesting a big jump in panel quality. Now, compare that to the regular iPhone 17. The iPhone 17 finally brought a 120Hz refresh rate to the non-Pro lineup. That is huge. A 120Hz display makes everything feel insanely smooth. Scrolling through Instagram, TikTok, swiping between home screens, opening and closing apps, gaming and animations. It feels just as fluid as the Pro models. On top of that, the screen is slightly larger at 6.3 inches. It's more power efficient. It has an anti-reflective coating, so it looks better outdoors, and it gets significantly brighter in daily use. This is a night and day difference. Once you use a 120Hz iPhone, going back to 60Hz in 2026 feels wrong. It feels broken. This one feature alone is easily worth paying $200 more. 2. Camera's flexibility versus frustration. Next huge difference between the iPhone 17e and iPhone 17. The cameras. The iPhone 17e is expected to come with a single 48-megapixel rear camera. No secondary lens. No dedicated ultra-wide. We've already seen what this looks like in real life with the iPhone 16e. The main camera photos were fine, but video quality dropped, and you immediately felt limited when you needed variety. Now look at the regular iPhone 17. The iPhone 17 gives you a 48MP main camera, plus a 48MP ultra-wide camera. That ultra-wide lens is not a gimmick. It's incredibly useful when you're at a party with friends, sitting in a cramped cafe or small restaurant, trying to capture a wide landscape or tall building, filming vlogs in tight indoor spaces. With the iPhone 17e, you'll constantly run into situations where you just can't fit everything in the frame. You'll either have to move way back or just give up on the shot. If photography or video content matters to you even a little bit, the iPhone 17e is going to feel like a compromise. The iPhone 17 gives you options. 3. Battery life and charging, where you'll feel it daily. Now let's talk about battery and charging, the part you'll notice every single day. On paper, last year's E model actually had a slightly larger battery than the regular iPhone. But here's the thing. Battery life is not only about capacity, it's about efficiency. In real-world use, the flagship iPhone 17 ended up with slightly better battery life, thanks to a more efficient, modern 120Hz display, better power management in the chip, Apple's optimization on the flagship models. You can safely expect the iPhone 17e fall behind the iPhone 17 in actual battery endurance. But the real pain point Charging speeds. Even if MagSafe finally arrives on the iPhone 17e, leaks suggest wired charging will max out around 20W, that is slow by 2026 standards. Meanwhile, the regular iPhone 17 supports up to 40W wired charging, supports full MagSafe and Key 2 wireless charging up to 25W. Translation: iPhone 17 will charge at least twice as fast with a cable, and noticeably faster on wireless chargers too when you're about to head out. Your battery is low and you have 10 to 15 minutes to charge. That difference is everything. The iPhone 17e will feel painfully slow next to the iPhone 17.4. Performance, same chip name. Not the same experience. You might have heard the rumor. Both the iPhone 17e and iPhone 17 will use the A19 chip. Sounds great, right? Same brain, same performance? Not exactly. Apple has a pattern. The cheaper E or budget models usually get a bin version of the chip. That means fewer GPU cores and slightly reduced performance. We already saw this with the iPhone 16e. It had the A18 chip in name, but with a weaker GPU compared to the regular iPhone 16. Expect the same story with the iPhone 17e. CPU performance. Similar on paper GPU performance. Noticeably weaker. Why does this matter? Because GPU isn't just for gaming anymore. It affects high frame rate gaming, video editing, and photo processing, on-device AI features, and affects AR apps and future iOS features. If you want your phone to feel fast for 3 to 5 years, that extra GPU power in the iPhone 17 is a big deal. The iPhone 17e will age faster. 5. Storage and price. Where the budget phone stops making sense. Now let's talk about money. Because this is where the whole iPhone 17e value argument falls apart. At $599, the iPhone 17e sounds like a budget win. If you genuinely don't care about a choppy 60Hz display, single camera with no ultra-wide lower charging, slightly weaker graphics, then yes, on the surface it looks fine. But now look at storage and actual pricing. The regular iPhone 17 starts at $800 with a base storage of 256 GB. iPhone 17 E at $599 will almost certainly start at 128 GB. You want 256 gigabytes on the iPhone 17e. You'll very likely need to pay more, pushing the price to around $699 or $700 at that point. The gap between iPhone 17e 256 gigabytes and iPhone 17 256 gigabytes shrinks to about $100 for roughly $100 more. The iPhone 17 gives you a 120Hz brighter, more efficient display, dual cameras with 48MP ultra-wide, AMOLED faster wide, and wireless charging, stronger GPU performance, better overall build and feature set, and significantly better resale value. That last point is key. The iPhone 17 will hold its value longer, feel fast and modern for more years, be easier to resell or trade in later. The iPhone 17e may look cheaper now, but over 3 to 4 years, the iPhone 17 is the smarter, more future-proof investment. 6. Apple's strategy. You're meant to upgrade yourself. Here's what you need to remember. There are no coincidences in Apple's pricing strategy. The iPhone 17e is positioned just close enough to the regular iPhone 17 to nudge you upwards. That's the whole point. The difference this year is that the regular iPhone 17 actually makes that upgrade genuinely worth it. This is not just marketing. The feature gap is massive for the small price difference. The iPhone 17e only makes sense if price is your absolute number one priority. You genuinely cannot go above $600, no matter what, for everyone else waiting months for the iPhone 17e just to save a little upfront and give up on so many key features is a mistake. So here's the bottom line. If you are planning to wait until spring for the iPhone 17e, stop. Save a little longer. Stretch your budget just that bit more. Buy the regular iPhone 17 instead. It's the smarter, long-term purchase. It's one of the best value iPhones Apple has made in the last decade. Don't settle for less when the real deal is right there. If you found this iPhone 17e versus iPhone 17 breakdown helpful, hit subscribe, share this video with anyone thinking about buying a new iPhone, and tap the bell icon so you never miss an update on Apple's latest launches.